welcome to this second video in the series Essential Lessons for Beginners, where today we're going to cover exactly what the golf club should do in the golf swing. So welcome back to the Forest of Arden. This is the 13th hole, the par 4 here on the Arden course. And we're going to use this tee box to talk about the second essential lesson that I would give to a beginner golfer, which covers a little bit more about the golf club itself and how it moves around your body and how it moves relative to the golf ball. This follows the first video, which was posted earlier a few days ago. If you haven't seen that one, I'll pop a clickable link up here in the corner. That covers contact and more about hitting the ball from the ground. As you can see in this video, we're talking about the driver and a little bit more with this club because it kind of highlights it a little bit more. Now, if you're new to our channel, if you're not a subscriber, there is a clickable link down in the description box below, or if you'd rather wait to the end of the video, there's a clickable button which will be up in that right hand corner somewhere. So the driver is the longest golf club in the bag, and that's why we're going to use it in this video, because it highlights this point a little bit more clearly. What we talk about in this video happens with every single golf club, but it's just going to be more emphasized with the driver. Now, when I take a starting position, let's assume that I'm trying to aim this ball right down the middle of that fairway, and when I take my starting position, the golf club points straight down in the middle of that fairway. Now, unfortunately, what we often see with newer or beginner golfers is they try and swing the golf club on a very straight line towards that target, and they try to keep the golf club face pointing towards the target. So that would look something like this, where the golf club tries to stay pointing at the target and the golf club gets swung on a very, very straight line back from the ball. Now, in theory, this is great, because what it allows us to do is it allows us to swing the golf club straight down towards the target, and the golf club can always point towards your target. It sounds as if it's going to be a very easy way to play the game. It's not an easy way to play the game, and it actually makes it incredibly difficult. So what should happen is we swing the golf club on an arc. So notice how the club head starts on this target line, but as I make my backswing, it very quickly moves inside from that target line. On the downswing, it moves back to the target line, and then it moves back inside of the target line. So my golf club is only on that target line for a very, very small period of time. The same can be said for the club face. So notice how when I move my golf club, the club face begins to rotate. And so at this point, that golf club no longer points towards the target. It points actually straight out towards about that camera opposite. As I swing back down, the golf club again points back towards my target, but it's going to rotate, and now the golf club points more over towards the 17th fairway behind me. So again, the golf club pointing at the target is only happening for a very, very small amount of time. So we start to kind of build an idea here about why this game is so difficult to play and why the driver is so difficult to use, because the golf club is only traveling towards my target for a very small amount of time, and the golf club is only pointing towards my target for a very small amount of time. Therefore, it is not difficult to hit poor shots where the golf club is either open or closed, or hit poor shots because the golf club is tracing too much to the left or too much to the right, because we are swinging the golf club on this arc, on this curve, and the club face is always opening and closing. A great way for you to feel this and understand this concept is actually just take your trial hand and place it down in front of you with the palm facing the target. And what you'll see is as I start to rotate back, my palm doesn't face the target. It faces again over towards that camera, and as I turn through again, the palm starts to face over this way. Now, what you'll notice is that palm and that hand is actually just working very much in sync with my body. So if I wanted to keep the golf club straight and pointing at the target, I can do, but I have to make some individual movements with my arm to do that, and then it starts to add real inconsistencies to the game. So a great second lesson, second concept would be to really start to appreciate and understand how that golf club moves around your body, works to the inside and opens, back to the target line, and then back to the inside and then starts to close. And if we can start to really understand that concept, again, we can start to really develop our game and move it to the next level. So let's hit a couple of shots, and I'm going to show you how I would incorporate that into a drill. So the drill we're going to get to do is very similar to what we've actually just done in rehearsal. And when I do this little drill with this driver, I'm expecting this ball to go maybe 20, 30 yards and not very high. So we're going to go normal starting position. And I want you to just take your trial hand, so I think that's my right hand, and keep it kind of in contact with the golf club, but just open up the palm. So provided my grip is fairly neutral, my palm is going to kind of point in the same direction as the club face. So as I sort of point the club face more down to the ground, again, my palm does that. And if the club goes up to the sky, my palm does that. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm actually just going to let that golf club work to the inside and rotate open. And I can really feel that with my palm. My palm is starting to face out in front of me. Rotate back to the golf ball and then through on the other side. So by having my palm open, it's just giving me a little bit more awareness of actually what the golf club is doing and how it's moving around my body. So I'm going to start here, I'm going to rotate, let the club work inside and open, and then work back this way and open. Now, as you can see, it's gone about 20 yards and very low, not particularly useful on the golf course when the hole's 500 yards, but it's a concept, it's a drill, and again, it's one of those things which beginner or newer golfers often get wrong. Their concept is incorrect. So this little exercise is really a case of not sort of so much, you know, swing building, but more sort of building your ideas and your concepts, because so often we see poor concepts holding golfers back. Obviously, once I've done a few of those, there's nothing to stop me standing there and kind of having a few little rehearsals again, and then I can go ahead and put that into a full golf swing. You'll see the club works to the inside and opens, works back to the target line, back to the inside and closes, and that happens with every single golf club you use. The shorter the golf club as you stand closer, it tends to happen a little less, but it does happen with every single golf club that you use. If you can get that concept, try that little exercise, it's really going to help with your consistency, your direction, and ultimately your development in this game. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that's helpful. Hope there's some information there which can help you develop your game and improve yourself as a golfer. Usual stuff, as always, is below. Comments box, like button, and over there there's a subscribe button. If you're not, I would love you to be a subscriber to the channel. More videos like this one coming each and every week. And also make sure you're staying tuned for the final video in this series, lessons that are essential for a new or beginner golfer. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you back here again soon.